Get the Friendo Club set up today and get access to over 700 Going in Raw bonus episodes, our monthly Big Blue predictions challenges, and the ability to ask questions at Going in Raw. We also offer the Steven Larson comic book and exclusive Friendo Club t-shirt. Just hit join here at youtube.com/Steven Larson or go to patreon.com/Steven Larson to sign up. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. The Royal Rumble 2025 is in the books, and it can be summed up with one word, Larson.
Yeet.
Yeet. That's right. Jey Uso is your men's Royal Rumble winner. Probably most definitely the biggest surprise of the night. Charlotte won the women's Rumble. Probably not a huge surprise to a lot of people. That was the one that you and I got right. Not very many people that I saw had Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, but I think it's a surprise in kind of like all the good ways. Yes. It's surprising, I think, in one respect that nobody really saw this coming. 7 friendos in our predictions challenge
out of nearly 300. Yeah.
They all had very low confidence points on it, but he is in the top like 3 most popular guys on the roster.
Yeah.
And so him declaring on Raw that he was going to go for the Gunther title, he already lost to Gunther at Saturday night's main event. You and I laughed people, apologies to the people that we dismissed out of hand as this being a possibility, but it's here. Jey Uso in the mid-card of WrestleMania is going to probably dethrone Gunther.
Yeah, the only reason they do the rematch is for Jey to win.
Yeah.
I mean, they had him lose on Saturday Night Main Event, I think, to throw us off a bit. You know, if Jey hadn't just lost the World Heavyweight title match, I would have given him a better shot leading up to the Rumble of winning it. I don't think I would have put him above, obviously Cena, Punk, Rollins. But in like the second tier, yeah, maybe. Because he is wildly popular. And how many times have we been saying? For Jey to really kind of, that main event Jey Uso name to really resonate and mean something, he's got to win a huge match. And he did that tonight by winning the Rumble. And he's got to do it again, beating Gunther at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I guess we should know by now, after last year, we're going into the main, we're like, oh, it's Becky, it's Gunther. They're winning. Neither of them won. Walking it, we both knew Charlotte was winning. That seemed pretty evident. But, when they spend so much time creative setting up, oh, Punk wants Cody, but if Kevin Owens wins, he'll face him. That was on SmackDown. Oh, we're doing Seth Gunther again. Oh, maybe Seth's going to win because it makes a ton of sense. Nope. Jey wins. And couldn't be happier for him. You could tell how much it meant to him after the match was over. Bringing his kind of story full circle now. And after beating Gunther, he will really earn that main event Jey Uso name, even though the match won't be in the main event, unfortunately. But, he's the most popular guy on Raw, him and CM Punk. And he sells a ton of merch. And I'm happy they see the groundswell of support for Jey, what kind of fan base he has. People love Jey Uso. And they're invested in his story and his journey. And I'm happy to see that that's for him is being rewarded with the title opportunity. And his fans for investing in his journey are being rewarded by seeing him get the Rumble win. And I would assume it has to be the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania.
Well, you said it right, man. Like, there is a really long story for Jey here, going back to 2020 when the Tribal Chief showed up. I mean, you can predate that, but in terms of like the actual story arc of Jey Uso as we know him now, and I understand there's criticism thrown towards him from, I mean, honestly, this is one of the bigger, in my opinion, disconnects between the general WWE, the universe, they like to call them, the fan base of WWE. There ain't one person in that arena that's booing Jey Uso. They love him to death. You get on the, in the IWC, and because the guy's not a 5-star match machine, he gets lobbied with criticism about, oh, he's not good in the ring. He's just a catchphrase. He's just a theme song, which, yes, his presentation is a 10 out of 10. But I still maintain that much of the reason why the WWE fan base has really grown so fond of Jey Uso is because we've all got to witness that story being played out. And, you know, I know memories are short these days, but it's not that long ago that Jey Uso, when he was under the thumb of Roman Reigns, was the best character performer the company has maybe ever seen, because his role as being traumatized Jey Uso under Roman Reigns was really, really the little details. It was something to behold. It really was.
Really was. It really
And
was.
now you get him in his phase where he's free of all that. He's proven himself. He proved himself the Intercontinental Championship. I remember distinctly saying, I know I've said on Going and Raw, I remember making this point. I think it was when he lost the Intercontinental Championship because he only had it for a small period of time. And, you know, generally speaking, traditionally during the era of Triple H, the Intercontinental Championship was, you know, a stepping stone title. It was easy. You had like Stone Cold on the way up, The Rock on the way up, Triple H on the way up.
Himself, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Kurt
And
Angle, a lot
so
of names, yeah.
it stood to reason that Jey Uso, having only been like, I don't know, a couple of years, 24 months or whatever into that phase of Jey Uso and how popular he is, there was still more to his ceiling. There was still more upside to his popularity. And we're seeing that play out now. Nobody thought this was going to, not a lot of people thought this was going to happen. And yet here we are, and they're paying attention to the crowd. The dude is in the upper echelon of guys. And I think that's what that Gunther title is for. Is it going to main event night 1 or night 2? Probably not. Not when you've got names like Cody and Cena probably main eventing night 2, maybe. Probably night 2, maybe night 1 though. We have a small Del Taco bet over this. And then hopefully Roman Reigns and CM Punk main eventing one of those nights as well.
Well, let's talk about, apologies for kind of interrupting, but let's talk about kind of the fallout now because, or after Jay's win.
Are we going to book ourselves a WrestleMania card here, man?
No, I wasn't going to go that far. I was looking just ahead to Elimination Chamber. So we're going to get into the breakdown of all the matches, but given the nature of what happened specifically when Punk eliminated Roman and Seth and what was going on the floor, obviously Seth despises CM Punk still. Roman and Seth, a lot of issues they need to work out. Are we about to have the most loaded Elimination Chamber match coming up in Toronto on March 1st with Cena, Roman, Punk, Seth, Drew, and I don't know who else.
They might stick Logan in there.
Maybe.
Can he travel? Can he go to Canada? I don't know if
can he go to Canada?
Yeah.
You know, that match is going to be stacked, and the winner of that's going to face obviously Cody. Yeah, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens will be in it.
You know, if they do a thing with Owens and I think that's a distinct possibility, but if they do a thing with Owens and Sammy, that might go a different direction and might not land in the chamber.
Yeah. Nonetheless, it's going to be a loaded chamber match. Like
it will be. Yeah. The people they've got names. There's no shortage of names, but you're absolutely right in terms of the magnitude of the chamber now. That turns into, yes, the most star-studded chamber. That final sequence right before they did the one-on-one, the triple threat with Logan, Cena, and Jay was nuts. And everything that happened on the outside. We'll talk about that in a second. What are you going to say?
Yeah. But just how that all kind of, who walks out of chamber essentially primed to face Cody. Now, we discussed at length about Cena being in the Rumble and not winning to make his journey to an opportunity at number 17 not so direct and easy for him. Going through the chamber, is that enough adversity to win and face Cody at Mania? Or they can do a situation where, say, Punk wins, we have that match, Cody Punk. They do Seth Roman at Mania, and Cena has to push down the line an opportunity to win number 17.
You know, dude, if we're sticking strictly to, and I know Michael Cole made a joke about Alexa Bliss and, the internet told me that she wasn't going to come back. I believe the reporting from Meltzer, I think, was it from Meltzer?
Meltzer said that they were just had an impasse on the contract, yeah.
I don't know if Sean had anything on that. I don't remember.
Yeah, Fightful right before had pretty much said Alexa Bliss is going to be at the Rumble.
Oh, did they? Okay,
Yeah.
I stopped looking at that at a certain point.
Yeah.
So that's not terribly surprising. The reason why I bring that up is because Fightful reported today that Cena Cody is something that's been on their radar for a while now, that they wanted to do it at 39 and they couldn't because of an injury. I don't know what the deal was. I forget. I think it said there was an injury or Cena couldn't physically. I don't know. So this is Cena's last year. It makes sense for him to main event WrestleMania. Whether or not he wins, that's a different thing. Here's the thing. He will win that title. Not the Jay title, the Gunther title, whatever you want. Not that one. He will win the Cody title.
If he wins a world championship, number 17, yes.
He will, though. You know why I know he will? Because on SmackDown, they gave him a little video package, and they gave it a name. Road to number 17. As soon as they give something a name, the dude's going to finish his story. Barring injury, he's going... Okay, well, you tell me then, with that look on your face. How does that finish without him winning the title?
With heartbreak, obviously, Steve. Not Shawn Michaels, just devastation.
Does that sound likely?
A career
to you?
unfulfilled.
Does that sound likely to you?
Or he just wins the World Heavyweight Championship. He wins. Well, Cena was never Intercontinental Champion. He wins the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well,
Grand Slam champion.
Okay.
John
Well,
Felix
then you got to up the number because he's had the U.S. and the tag and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Maybe he loses at WrestleMania, and maybe he's got to find a new road and he wins it at SummerSlam. Maybe he wins it at Saturday Night's main event in December of 2025.
Entirely possible. Literally his last match.
That could be. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what happens at WrestleMania. The thing about the Chamber is that you do have a situation where all those big names we mentioned, they're all going to be focused on each other. And Cena had that opportunity tonight, but all those names that we talked about, they got eliminated basically boom, 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 boom. And then they had their own thing going on where they could only focus on each other.
Yeah, if it's Cena and then opposite him you have Drew, Punk, Seth, and Roman.
They're all dealing with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at
And
that point, he can roll up the last guy.
Just depends who's the sixth person in the match is going to be.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Does he win at Chamber? Does he get the match now? It feels like for WrestleMania, probably. Then the question is, does he win it? But yeah, it seems like Elimination Chamber is his path to getting to Cody.
Yeah, and I mean, all right. Let's look at things from a different angle. If they do Cody Punk, Roman Seth, where does that leave Cena for his last WrestleMania then?
Dude, I hate to say this. You have Randy Orton out there. Kevin Owens going to have Sami Zayn. Yeah, Drew McIntyre, but why? You know what I mean? Like, why? Drew is so solely focused on bloodline stuff.
Yeah, it wouldn't make a lot of sense. I don't want to put this out there in the universe, although there's reporting about it. Cena eliminated Logan Paul from the Rumble, thankfully. So Logan didn't win.
Yeah.
It's a possibility that's the match at Mania 2.
What did Logan
I don't
Paul
want
do?
to see it.
What did Logan Paul do last year? Was it Seth? That wasn't Seth. Seth was 2 years ago. I forgot what he did.
Oh,
Challenge for a title or some shit.
no.
That's a
Oh,
possibility.
no, that was SummerSlam. I'll try to remember
Somebody
that.
in chat will know.
Yeah, my memory's garbage, I'm sorry.
Not yet, but yeah, I don't know. I think that Orton is a possibility. It's a possibility. You know, AJ Styles came back. That's a possibility. They could hype whatever they want to. So you know, there's a lot of moving pieces there, and you know, some of it you just sort of rely on what the story is telling you, what they're telling you in front of us. But like we saw tonight with Jey Uso. Well, the funny thing is, this has been building for Jey Uso. But what a freaking swerve that was at Saturday night's main event. To have him lose to Gunther. Maybe they saw the Meltzer star rating. 4.5 stars.
Could be. Let's talk about the Women's Rumble. Charlotte won, which we anticipated. Fun bout. And you got to anticipate that Charlotte's going to be challenging Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. I'm guessing they'll have a women's chamber match at Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Winner of that face Rhea. Who do you think is the odds-on favorite? Probably face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania at this juncture.
I think it all comes down to the. I think it comes down to the. I mean, I'm sure they probably know, but like, boy, they have not teased anything for that.
Well, except Io. There's a couple instances where they've crossed paths.
There was that one moment where they both had the title, Liv's title,
Yeah,
and that
kind of
was
did.
a prominent moment. It would be look, Rhea Ripley has a tremendous WrestleMania match track record. I mean, her and Becky had a really good one last year.
Her and
Her
Charlotte
and
had an amazing
Charlotte
match. Yeah.
was fucking outstanding.
Yep.
2 year that match was awesome.
It was so good.
But it's why we're not going to get that one again. So yeah, that's why Charlotte's definitely going to be taking on Tiffany. Probably end up losing her because they're trying to make a thing out of Tiffany. It'll be a good match because Tiffany's really good, and Charlotte, she ain't going to be, she's not going to be in a stinker. But and Rhea Io, oh my god, that would just be the best. That'd be like the best probably match option. Or Bianca's out there. The thing I think it boils down to Bianca, like the Jade, really. Are they going to pick this up? Are they going to? I don't know. I have no idea. You had mentioned that you saw a report that I'm assuming it was Fightful that Jade was seen at the Performance Center. So I'm assuming. I mean, same as Ilya, he's been seen at the Performance Center. That might mean that the injury was actually a thing, and she's coming back from that.
Yeah.
In which case, I have no idea, because if it was, for example, Naomi, then what does that mean? Does that mean you're going to get Bianca versus Naomi at WrestleMania? Naomi versus Jade? I don't know how that plays out.
Yeah, I
Is
don't know how it
Naomi going to
plays
get
out
a different
either.
partner?
Is it Naomi Jade? Is it Naomi Bianca?
Is it like a tag match or something? I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, I don't know what it'd be either.
I mean, the simple route to do that, I mean, what you could do is, well, here's another interesting wrinkle with Rhea and Bianca. Rhea just won that title. Bianca's got a WrestleMania streak.
True. That's true.
Who the hell wins that match?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they gotta wait on that one. Wait on it.
That would be my preference as well. But like, and Io makes all the sense. Io is so flippin' popular right now. We had a great little bit with her and Julia in the match in the women's rumble. It was a fun women's rumble. I understand there's a lot of criticism towards Charlotte because a lot of people are, still have the lull Charlotte wins. I don't care. I love Charlotte. I think number one, she's a tremendous wrestler, and I love that she comes in with all the swagger of a of a big star, and I love that shit. I understand. I get it though. I mean, I understand the criticism, but I'm just personally a big fan, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, I don't know. That's sort of how that all shakes out, I guess.
Yeah. No Becky tonight, so we don't know how she factors into Mania plans.
Alexa Bliss came back.
Alexa Bliss made her return. Jordan Grace made her official debut as a member of the WWE roster. They were clear that she had signed a contract.
Boy, she fits like a glove.
Yep.
I mean, we knew that last year when she showed up.
Yeah.
But this year, my goodness, boy, just a star, just an absolute star.
Absolute star.
Man, that you see her making her debut. You get the first taste of Stephanie Vaquer on main roster. Roxanne Perez might be MVP of the whole damn thing.
She was the Iron Woman of the Women's Rumble, yeah.
Because, man, she upped the presentation another level. Looks like a star on main roster already. Hung with the best of them. And
not just that. She entered at 3 and was down to the final 2.
Yeah.
Her and Charlotte were the final 2.
Yeah. And she had so much presence in there, mixing it up with everybody. Just an absolute, just a great preview for what's going to happen. I'm looking for, I don't know where her and Bailey are going to have their one-on-one, because they've got, of course, the triple threat or fatal four or whatever it's going to end up being.
Because that story beat wasn't really explored. I mean, obviously they were in the ring at the same time, but was it a situation where Roxanne eliminated Bailey or vice versa? There was a couple instances where, like, for example, LA Knight comes in well after Nakamura is eliminated. And, like, in theory, they're kind of feuding over the U.S. title.
Yeah, they haven't really. Well, no, they did actually on SmackDown. Shinsuke
SmackDown,
was in the
Nakamura is
background.
lurking in the background a lot. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, and then
yeah.
saunters off. Yeah, no, I know. I guess they just didn't think that was too necessary of a story beat. And things just don't line up. Kind of curious how they put these things together.
Yeah.
What level of detail goes into it with so many moving parts. Be kind of interesting. Blinging with Kimberly here with the super chat says Jay deserved all that. Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeet. Another super chat here. Cinema and Suplexes says, "What a fun and shocking rumble." Oh, I'm formerly Eastside Reviews. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Cinema
right.
and Suplexes now is the formerly known as Eastside Reviews. Change promotions, evidently. What's Cinema and Suplexes doing here in the All Elite Zone?
There we go.
So that's good to know. Let's see here. Are there other super chats? Getting to it. All right, not yet. Before we continue on, we'll get to the breakdown here of the Rumble because there was a ladder war as well.
There was a ladder war, a pretty vicious
match. We'll get to that here in a second, though. But of course, the Rumble was the first of 3 events in the February Predictions Challenge, and right now, up at the top of the leaderboard, we've got. Oh, great. Ram Your Mommy in the top spot. Yeah, don't trip over yourself trying to save me from saying that name, man, by the way. You get the next dicey name, Larson.
All right.
We are both pretty far behind. I took a big tumble like always. So the reigning champion, Larson, is at 60 points, tied for 43rd place.
Yeah.
While Ram Your Mommy.
Those prop bets, man.
Is up at the top spot there, followed by Alex Washington and Cody Brotherton. So yeah, but there's still plenty of prediction challenge left. And if you didn't get in on the Rumble prediction challenge, I might suggest hopping in, signing up on the Patreon, or clicking here, join for a channel membership.
And why, Steve?
Man, if there's any time to put us on notice, now's the time, because in April, we've got the WrestleMania Predictions Challenge, which is nights 1 and 2 and Stand and Deliver. It's all in the one weekend. And on the line, it's in the box over there. I should have it available here to show everybody.
Yeah, we should show it off, but it's kind of dangerous to handle. It's kind of sharp.
It kind of is, yeah. We're going to have a long dialogue with whoever wins this and have him sign a waiver.
To show it off, put some oven mitts on.
It's the CM Punk.
It's sharp.
It's the CM Punk bootleg from Pakistan Championship Signature Series title. It's like that one, but it's the bootleg version, and it's like kind of a mess. But that's the championship. That is the prize for the WrestleMania Predictions Challenge.
Correct.
So I know there's a lot of gifted memberships. Make sure you guys are participating in the Predictions Challenge. The next one coming up is what's next? Grand Slam.
Grand Slam and Vengeance Day, same weekend.
Oh, same weekend. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and Grand Slam is an AEW show. There's going to probably be a lot of matches on the card.
Greaves just became a channel member, so thank you very much. Maybe on Tuesday, our next show, I'll have Dick Slavitt, the Jim Ross impersonator, come in, and he'll just read all of the new members and patrons.
All right, just reading the names, nothing more.
Well, I mean, that's what his purpose would be. That's what I would ask him to do.
But no ad libs, just reading names, nothing else.
I mean, I can ask him.
Well, I think you need to be a little firmer.
What? Oh, man. I'll tell him to be more firm. I'll tell him to be firmer.
Be blunt.
I'll let him know.
Just be blunt and say,
we
want you to just read names, nothing more.
I'm going to tell him you said be firmer. I'm going to do that.
It's been a long day.
So yeah, the Big Predictions Challenge, part of the Friendo Club setup, man. Like I said, click join right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson.
Yes.
Or go to patreon.com/Steve and Larson. You also get access to all of our old bonus episodes, and you get access to the question threads we do for the recap episodes during the week. Didn't put one up for this show because it's so loaded, and it's Saturday night. I'm sure Larson and I want to get a move on.
Yeah.
Plus, you guys have plenty of opportunities. We'll always read the super chats and shit.
Exactly. Before we get to the breakdown, we got some stats of our own. A wonderful feature of this year's 2 Rumble matches. They have like the graphics on the bottom with who's in, what position they came in, what number we're on, how many entrants are left, how long various people have been in the ring, who's had the most eliminations, and who they eliminated.
I was shocked that so many people in our chat were like, I don't really like these
Oh,
graphics.
it's great because
I loved it.
every question you might have about any scenario in the Rumble, if you're patient, you'll get your answer
Yeah, right.
via these new
Exactly.
graphics. Great. We have some stats here as far as non-main roster entrants in both Rumbles. We had 5 entrants from NXT, all in the
Yes.
Women's Rumble.
Yes.
We had 2 legends again in the Women's Rumble. It was
Yeah.
Trish, Nikki Bella, and then only 1 entrant from TNA, champion Joe Hendry.
Were you surprised? Like, were you surprised just how deep into the roster Triple H went in the men's rumble?
You know, I haven't really sat down and looked at who was left out. I'd have to do that first.
Sure.
Because I know, like, the men's rumble was really a match of 2 halves, where the latter half was just star-studded, loaded. Once Roman came in at 16, I think it was just main event name, more or less, after main event name.
For sure.
But in the first half of the men's rumble, you said a lot of times, like, "Oh, I didn't have this person on my list. I didn't have this person on my list."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll have to look at it. Like Curious Corduroy says, no New Day, and that's somewhat surprising.
I was surprised at no New Day. I was surprised at no Amos, just given the reporting that he had done his Noah thing
dropped
and
his title. Yeah,
he dropped his title. Yeah, no, let's see here. No Karrion Cross. That's not terribly surprising.
although with the Miz in there, they have a thing.
No Solo Sikoa.
I don't know. We're going to see him again.
I don't know.
I mean, he's
you
going
already
to come
said-
back. I don't make it seem like he's never coming back, but
This one I was really shocked at. No Trick Williams. Nobody from NXT. I mean,
men's rumble, yeah.
the men's division in NXT is like not stacked. It's not deep at all. It's like basically rebuilding right now. But Trick is number one. Trick last year, if you remember, like right before the Rumble, I think it was right before the Rumble, he got a tremendous reaction when he showed up on SmackDown to attack Carmelo because I think they were having their thing. So I'm really surprised that was the case. No Grayson Waller, no Austin Theory, but they're doing a little run in NXT right now. As you said, no New Day. Kind of surprised about that. And no Randy Orton. I was really surprised no Randy Orton.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like that. I like that it's like, you get a Ludwig Kaiser. Granted, he was in there for all of 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But he had like a moment. You had Otis. You had Tozawa come out, but get punched in the back of the head by Carmelo Hayes. And they had to scramble. You see this all happen because they take him backstage. And Triple H, I Show Speed, the Twitch streamer, is standing there doing some interviews. And Triple H says, "You're up." And he's wearing Crocs. He goes in there. And, I know a lot of people have one of 2 reactions. Who's that? Well, if you're under 25, you probably know who he is. And also like, they're taking up a spot. Like, the dude came in. Some of these Twitch streamers, and you get like the really big ones, they are good. They're performers, man. They're like performers. He comes out there. He knows how to work a crowd of 60,000 people.
Yep.
It's kind of impressive for being a dude who sits in front of his TV or his monitor, his television. And then he shows up and he gets speared in half by Braun Breaker.
Yeah. And then chucked over the announce table.
Ouch. No R-Truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. I did think that it was interesting that he went, I mean, not super deep into it. It's not like there was Pretty Deadly on there, but
Yeah. Not like
but
they-
so yeah,
they were-
tag
they had
team
tag
wrestling
teams in
did
there.
not feature too heavily in the actual Rumble itself. No War Raiders.
No.
No. Well, Dom was there from Judgment Day, so was Finn.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's jump into it. So the show opened up with Lillian Garcia introducing Stephanie McMahon. She drops a promo, says, "Incredible honor to be here in the amazing city of Indianapolis, streaming live on Peacock and Netflix, bringing the W Universe together. W grows because of you. Thank you for making this the biggest Rumble in history. Without further ado, welcome to the Rumble." And then we get the Women's Rumble to kick off the show. We talked quite a bit already about the surprise entrance from NXT. We had Io and Liv Morgan starting off the match. Roxanne third. We had from NXT Roxanne, Lash, Jada Parker, Stephanie Vicaire and Julia.
Yeah, I was surprised to see. I was also kind of surprised to. Well, I was and I wasn't. Let me ask you this: Julia being in the Rumble and no Obafemi,
Hmm.
does that suggest to you that Julia might have a shorter stint as NXT champion and might be fast tracked for main roster?
That's possible because she eliminated Jordan Grace. And once Jordan got in the match, we were discussing, well, where's her destination? Is she going to be on main roster? Which she has the brand, the credentials, star
Oh,
power, all that to go
dude,
straight to
yeah,
main.
1000%.
She doesn't need to go to NXT. Or is she going to go to NXT? And, once Julia is done with this feud with Roxanne and Bailey, they got the match of Vengeance Day. I wouldn't be surprised if shortly thereafter she gets to a program with Jordan. I'm not saying Jordan beats her right away for that title, but I don't think if Jordan goes to NXT, she's going to be without a title for very long.
I think if Jordan goes to NXT, that tells us like, number one, NXT's audience has been growing like significantly. I think it did like 827,000 in the total overall
Mm-hmm.
viewership this week, which is kind of crazy. Um, if she goes to NXT, that says to me that they are going to be like kind of properly considering NXT. Number one, it means they want it to be the place, like the destination for women's wrestling. They're going to focus even more so on that, which I think is could be a smart move considering like, their men's division. You can't really focus on that because it's like top two guys and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But it also tells me that the kind of stuff you see between Roxanne and Bailey might become a bit more the norm, where they start blurring the line a little bit more between the brands, between NXT and main roster. So, but yeah, I would be really surprised if if she wasn't just simply, main roster straight up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was good to see BFAB in the Rumble too.
Yeah. I mean, here's another way of looking at it, and I don't know how much stock to put in this. The idea that we've seen Jordan in NXT a few times, in fact. She gets eliminated by the NXT Women's Champion. All right. She got eliminated by the champ. Hey, let's just go up to main roster. Let's just kind of tie up that loose end and debut full time Jordan on the main roster.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Again, I don't know how accurate to think that might be, but maybe that's another route. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like it's more of an ever evolving thing as opposed to like, hey, we want to do this right now, and keep it as a hard and fast rule.
Yeah, we mentioned Alexa Bliss returned to a massive
biggest pop of the night, by the way.
Yeah,
that was huge.
She had a jacket on that said "Fiend Forever" on the back. Eventually got eliminated by Liv Morgan. So maybe that's a potential Mania feud, or at least a feud going forward for both of them. They had a graphic later on for new merch for Alexa Bliss, so it seems like she's going to be around on a relatively full-time basis. She had just a one-off appearance. So,
was there anything you could gather from the appearance this time in terms of her presentation that would point you in a direction for her? Because the reporting was she was going to do some stuff with the Wyatts.
I mean, she had the doll. They had the kind of more Wyatt themed version of her theme, not the dubstep one. I mean, it seems like the Fiend Forever on the jacket. It seems like, based on all that, doing something with Wyatt 6 would make a lot of sense.
It definitely would. Yeah, it definitely would. Yeah, it'll be interesting if they put her on SmackDown. That'll be pretty interesting. Who eliminated Alexa?
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan. Who's on
Raw?
I wonder if they're going to do a thing with that. I still feel like if Becky comes back, it'll be with Liv for Mania.
Could be.
Pure Fusion Collective had a good showing. They had a good showing.
Yeah,
they're actually booked like a pretty a fearful trio. Everybody was like ganging up on them, but they were taking a bunch of people out. It was good to see.
And they all got eliminated at the same time.
They did. But people were paying attention to them, so that was nice. Maxine Dupree was in the Rumble also. That was one I did not have on my list.
Yeah. So Nikki Bella was entrant 30. There's this great spot where At that time, like half the field was out in the apron. It was Raquel, it was Bianca, Naomi, Liv, Stephanie, and Nia eventually eliminates them all. So I think she got credit for 9 eliminations.
Mm-hmm.
So left in the ring is Charlotte, Bailey, Nikki, Roxanne, Julia, and Nia. Roxanne eliminates Julia, and then Bailey is eliminated by Nia, and also Nikki. So it is Roxanne, Charlotte, and Nia left. Charlotte's dumped out. Sorry, Nia's jumped out by Charlotte, and then she eventually boots Roxanne off the apron to get the win. Bunch of pyro. She got pyro for her entrance. Knew she was winning then. Even more pyro afterwards.
Oh man, I should get on my Twitter burner account, see what people are saying about that one because boy oh boy,
Oh, there's probably a lot of people complaining about it.
plenty of people here with us complaining about it.
What are people to say about this 2 out of 3 falls tag match, which was actually a really fun bout with some somewhat confusing interference at the end. So you had Motor City Machine Guns challenging DIY for those tag titles. You know, in chat when we were watching the show, a lot of people were like, "Oh, this match is going to be awesome." You know, the two great tag teams give an opportunity to do a 2 out of 3 falls match. Huge stadium show. It's massive for all 4 dudes. And it was going really good. And then you have Street Profits come to the ring and attack Motor City Machine Guns. You're like, why are they attacking Motor City Machine Guns? It was DIY that laid them out. And so that leads to DIY retaining. And then the Street Profits attack DIY after the match. Maybe the idea is, well, we're going to attack Motor City Machine Guns, so DIY retains. And then, so when we beat DIY, then we get the tag belts as well as beating them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I think it was just like, you know, if we can't have them, nobody can have them. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like everything stays the same, I guess. I don't know. It was, you know what, dude? I'll go sort of glass half full here. I understand it was kind of confusing. I'm assuming 2 things. Number 1, on SmackDown, we'll find out why they did it. And number 2, what?
Angel here in chat says Cole stated why they did it. Well, he had the commentary low because we did listen to each other. So I didn't hear that.
Well, okay, so I'm curious, what did Cole say? Did they give him their statement here? And number 2, it gets them back involved. It gets Street Profits back involved, which I'll be honest, I don't give a shit what they do. I just want to see these guys get involved in stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it seems incredibly unlikely that we're going to get a Montez Ford singles run.
Not anytime soon.
I'm not even saying anytime soon. I'm saying period.
Oh, all right. Angel said, Cole said what I said. So there you go.
Wait, what's that?
Cole said what I said.
What did you say?
That they Street Profits attacked Motor City Machine Guns so that they could face DIY and beat DIY as well as take the titles from them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, there you go. That makes sense.
I guess subliminally somehow I heard that.
I guess so. So yeah, I don't know. I just want to see these guys back on TV doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like they need something. Number 1, I actually love, and I've always loved their theme song. It's time for a freshening up of presentation, man. It really is. And they were getting that with Bobby, at least to a degree. And then they just whoop, Bobby's gone.
Yep.
And yeah, and so they're kind of stuck. And the way Triple H does things, man, it takes forever for people to get back up on their feet.
I know. So DIY win the first fall when Gargano fakes a tag. That leads to Ciampa hitting Shelley with a running knee to get the pin. Predictably, Motor City Machine Guns get the second fall after hitting Skull and Bones on Gargano. And then leading up to the third fall, Gargano accidentally super kicks Ciampa. Shelley tags in, hits a double team kick, and that's when Montez runs to one side of the ring, distract the ref. Dawkins runs out with the crutch, hits Shelley with it. DIY hits Meat in the middle. They retain. Then afterwards, mentioned Dawkins and Ford attack DIY and then hold up the belts.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. So we had they showed a couple people including some celebrities. John Mellencamp was
He's from
there.
Indiana.
That makes sense.
Apparently a wrestling fan too. Maybe.
Well, evidently, yeah.
Yeah.
Indiana.
Favorite John Mellencamp song, Steve, go.
I don't give a shit. I'm not saying that to be rude to you, mind you. I'm sorry.
No, it sounds like you're saying that to be rude to John Mellencamp.
I've never cared about him.
Wow.
Never. Thought it was weird that at one point he was John Cougar Mellencamp, that he was just John Mellencamp.
That was the record label. The record label's doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He didn't want to be John Cougar. He wanted to be John Mellencamp.
Was Cougar like a legitimate middle name of his?
I don't think so. I think
Why did they put that in there?
They just like the sound of it. I don't know.
That's so weird. That's like a Vince thing. You'll be John Cougar Mellencamp.
He's like, why?
Man,
John Mellencamp.
I just I don't know very many of his songs. All right, I'm old, but I'm not that old. My dad was a bigger. What? That's like our dad's eras, dude. That's not our
that
era.
was 80s. Like, you know all
We
this
were
80s
children in the 80s, man.
Yeah, you know all these songs from that same era, and yet you don't know John Mellencamp?
No,
His videos
I
were all
don't.
over MTV.
What besides? I'm sorry. In 1986, my family couldn't afford cable, unlike yours. High roller over there. I don't know, man. The one song that I know is it just sounds like, I don't know. It's Jack and Diane.
Yeah, I'm not huge on that one either.
Yeah, it's overplayed.
Listen to Authority song. That's a good one.
It's probably not. I'll
It
listen to it
is.
tonight on the way to the
There
bar.
you
I'll
go.
listen. I'll tell you what. Give me one song to listen to as the definitive song to turn me around after 40 years of John Mellencamp.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure. I'm not even that huge of a Mellencamp fan, but I know his work. And like I say, he's got some good songs. Authority song's good. Like Walls Crumbling Down's good.
No,
and
no,
then
no, no, no,
Scarecrow's
no.
good.
I don't want his whole catalog, man. Give me
I'm
one
giving you
song.
3 songs of probably hundreds of tunes.
One song.
I listen to Scarecrow.
I didn't mean to offend your John Cougar Mellencamp fan club status, man.
You know, in 1985, I think I bought which is that album, and because I was really into that. When the walls come crumbling down. That's a good song.
In 1985,
I'm guessing the year, yeah.
you bought that?
Well, I had my parents buy it for me, but yeah. Yeah.
I know we make jokes about us being old. We ain't that old. 1985?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Why is that so crazy?
You're not that much old. Aren't you like holding a year older than me?
Yeah.
1985, I was buying like, I don't know. I think I listened to my dad's copy of Eye of the Tiger from Survivor. I wasn't
Actually,
going.
that album came out in 83.
I wasn't. What? So like little 6-year-old Larson, whatever you were at the time, just trucking to the music store?
Well, like I said, I had my parents buy it. They probably bought it from the what was that record, the Columbia record deal thing, where you sign up and you get so many albums to begin with, and you get another one a month. It was probably something like that.
We didn't have that kind of money, bro. We didn't have that kind of money.
I'll tell you,
No, I did not know you were such a John Cougar guy.
I'm really not.
Did he ever just go by John Cougar?
Yeah, that's what
He
he started
did,
his
didn't
career
he?
as. Yeah, it was
I
John
thought it was-
Cougar, and then John Cougar Mellencamp, and then John Mellencamp.
Matt Rayner with the super chat says, I thought the Akira attack and carry out to the back was kind of pointless. No, there was a point to it. It was get I show speed in the Rumble.
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks for the super chat, though.
Yes, thank you so much.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Anyways.
go on such a anti John Mellencamp rant there.
Listen to Scarecrow. It's a good song.
Is
I
that
was
the one?
actually-
Is that the one?
Yeah, listen to that one. I was actually not that familiar with that song, and it was on the radio the other day. Just happened to dance. Like, wow, this is actually a really good song. It's well put together. The arrangement's really good.
All right, man. I'll check it out. I'll check it out on the way to the bar tonight.
All right, there you go. Let's talk about Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens.
Oh, no, Larson. We're going to talk about Ladder War.
Ladder War.
Ladder War.
So if you're
Boy.
expecting a match like a lot of ladder matches are, where people climb up the ladder and take a lot of high falls, this is not the ladder match for you. They took a different approach, one that was deliberately paced, and especially towards the end, much more brutal than just doing a bunch of high spots off the ladder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As the match progressed, it's like the perfect plex off the top rope onto a ladder. They sold that as devastating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they seem like they're on the verge of stopping the match. Sami Zayn runs down because he wants to check on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the finish where I know I'm jumping ahead to the finish, where Kevin Owens is looking to hit Cody with a package pile driver on the announce table, and then Cody reverses that into an Alabama slam that puts Kevin Owens through a ladder. And the way Kevin Owens landed, his head was between the rungs, so when the ladder folded, he kind of landed on the back of his head and neck on the floor,
Yeah.
and he just stayed there like that. Well, Cody gets in the ring, goes up, grabs the titles, and I've never seen Cody this disrespectful. So he goes, kind of looks over at Kevin, says something to Sammy, and then starts to walk up the ramp. Then turns around and stands on the announce table and holds up both the titles over Kevin as he's kind of being helped to sit up a little bit.
This was
He
phenomenal.
was rubbing his nose and he was rubbing Kevin Owens' nose and shit. That's what he was doing.
You know, from the second Kevin Owens sucker punched him out in front of just a bunch of nerdy ass wrestling fans with their phones out. Disrespectful. This is what he has coming to him. Yeah, man. Cody Rhodes coming back, crop dusting him, holding those titles up, talking shit to Sami Zayn. You got to love it. This match I thought was awesome. By the end, that Alabama slam on the ladder, dude, it had everybody scared as shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Kevin Owens is next level. He really is. He's great. Cody can rise to the occasion, man. But Kevin Owens is phenomenal. He's so damn good.
He is.
And I really, I mean, obviously this is going to head towards Kevin Owens and Sammy because Sammy didn't do shit except for stand there with his fist balled up, and then checked on him after the fact. But yeah, no, and you're right, you know, and I love the fact that you and I always talk about how baby faces should not be pushovers, and Cody Rhodes getting that win over this guy who's been a piece of shit to him. Yeah, get back over there and talk shit. Absolutely. This is what I did, so stay down. Stop bugging me. Stop carrying your championship, your replica around like you're... That being said, boy, I love Kevin Owens. He's so damn good.
Oh, he's one of the best. One of the best to ever do.
He really
honestly.
is.
Honestly. Good match.
Oh, so Jared Quinn in our YouTube chat believes he said, you did the right thing to Sammy. He said, Sammy, you did the right thing. What a great, if that's true, what a great line.
And then according to Angel here, he told Sammy he chose this.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. All right, let's move on to the Men's Rumble main event. Rey Mysterio, Penta, first two to start. Almost had a bit of a mishap early on in the match where there's a spot where they both go tumbling out of the ring. And hey, I watched it real time. It looked clear as day to me that only one of Penta's feet hit the floor. But I have not seen it under review, so they didn't show any replays.
Yeah.
Margin for error for so many of those, especially spots like that where your momentum's all going down towards the floor and you got to put the brakes on. That's so hard.
Dude,
That's
how
so
many
dang hard.
how many skinnings of the cats did we get tonight?
In both Rumbles combined, I don't know, 3 dozen?
Just in
More?
Just in the men's, we had a lot.
Lot.
We had it. Wasn't there a sequence when all four sides had
Yeah,
one
it was
dude
the men's
skin?
Rumble, yeah.
Yeah, it did look like Phoenix's. To me, it looked like only 1 foot
Same.
touch, but then a couple people said they went back and rewatched it. I will not go back and rewatch it, so in my head, it is still just that 1 foot. So
Exactly.
Penta had a killer showing though.
Yep.
Looked amazing in that blue getup.
I think he might have been the Iron Man of the Rumble too.
It was terrific. Yeah.
Really great showing. Steve mentioned Otis. Chad Gable was in there. Carmelo Hayes, Santos. Braun had a good showing. Jacob Fatu had a good showing. For a while, Jacob and Roman were both tied for the lead for most eliminations. Nakamura was in it briefly. Jay entered at 20 after Penta gets eliminated by Finn. Braun Strowman comes in at 22, eliminates Jacob Fatu. Cena's in at 23. It's like Cena, Punk, Rollins, bang, 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 all in a row, and then Dom.
Yeah, and then Dom.
Let's go down here towards AJ, who came back. Logan Paul was 30. So we have this bit here. So where Seth and Roman are going at it. And Roman tries to eliminate Seth, but Seth hangs on to him. So Punk comes up from behind and dumps them both out. And then Logan Paul comes up and dumps Punk right out. So all three, Roman, Seth, Punk, are all just nearby each other on the floor. So Roman's screaming at Punk for eliminating him, and so Seth comes by and hits a double-footed stomp on Roman. That looked brutal. Oh yeah, Joe Hendry was in the match too.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Joe Hendry, he got his big moment. TNA
Yep.
champion came in. Did he eliminate anybody or just put? He just
He did eliminate somebody.
I think he did.
Cena eliminated him though.
Okay, yeah. But he had a little face off with Roman. It was good stuff. It was awesome for Joe Hendry, and I have no doubt whenever the hell his TNA contract runs out, he'll probably
yeah,
end
he's
up in
going
WWE.
Yeah. So going back to the spot with Seth and Roman, he double foot stomp on the floor, and everybody's losing their mind. Heyman's like screaming on the floor.
It was the best like chaos that you could possibly ask for.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Because as soon as that's over, like Punk's going after Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
So they're brawling, trying to break that up. Rollins goes after Heyman. And then by this point, Roman's kind of crawled up and so he's leaning against the ring steps. Seth runs by and stomps him on the ring steps again.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually they escort Seth out. So we got Cena, Jay, and Logan. And at this point, I'm like, oh, please, just don't have Logan win. Please don't. Cena's looking for a double AA. They both Logan and Jay escape, and then Logan ends up being eliminated by Cena. So Cena and Jay are our final two. We get the 5-knuckle shuffle. They make their way to the apron, and Cena's looking for an AA on the apron. Jay escapes back in the ring and just pushes Cena from behind off the apron, and Cena sold it pretty well because going into this, he's like, I just need to get lucky.
Yeah.
I just need to get lucky to win. And he has Jay up on his shoulders, and he's preaching to the crowd probably a bit too much, and luck just wasn't on his side. So,
You know, dude, I think it's great for him too because you shouldn't get there through luck.
yeah,
But he held his own. He came out at 23. He's been in WWE main roster since 2000 for 23 years now. He came out, held his own, and you and I had both talked about what if he gets this close in the Rumble, or if they extend the story where he doesn't even get the title match until much later. But if he gets this close, and I think that's probably if he shows up, on Raw or whatever on Monday. I don't know if he's scheduled to be there or not, or SmackDown. If he drops a promo and he says, man, I didn't know if I don't think I believed in myself, but knowing that I hung in there with everybody in there, because it was a loaded, last 6 people in there.
mm-hmm.
And knowing that I came this close now makes me even hungrier. Now gives me the confidence. Now gives me a boost.
Exactly.
Now I'm going to walk into Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
He'll do it all hammy and overacting and stuff.
Yeah, that's his thing now. Sorry, it wasn't Cena that eliminated Joe Hendry. It was Roman Reigns. Apologies.
Okay.
But Joe did eliminate The Miz. He did eliminate one.
Oh, he eliminated The Miz. Okay. There you go. The Miz had a pretty good showing. He was doing some lucha shit. Mm-hmm. And he had a phenomenal match with Andrade on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. So then Jay wins, and it's great. Everybody in the building's eating, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Cena gets back in the ring. At first, he's like, "Oh, I'm really upset because you denied me my shot at WrestleMania." But then he hugs him, raises his hand.
Oh yeah.
He's a
Yeah,
good guy,
it was an interesting thing to put 2 baby faces in there at the end.
Yeah.
What was it last year? Last year was Cody and Punk.
Yeah.
So I guess they weren't, shy about it. The year before it was Cody and Gunther. That was a bit more, good guy, bad guy.
Yeah.
A couple super chats here. Steve Kaharski says, I hate that Logan eliminated Punk, but this build to Mania should be elite. Oh, and yeet.
Yeet.
Verse also has a super chat here. Says, Cody's post-match actions plus Monday's promo suggests this could be a long-form beginning of Cody's heel turn. Could his next feud be with a disappointed Randy Orton? I don't know what Randy's deal is going to be. I don't think they're not going to do Cody Randy between now and Mania. I could see Randy, oh boy. I always assumed that the package pile driver was just write him off for storyline. Not like for realsies.
Yeah.
But I don't know when he's going to come back.
Yeah, I don't know
Blinging with Kimberly with the super chat says that Cody match was 5 stars. We're going to be doing our star ratings tomorrow over at the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. Ben Cav 123 says, "Hey lads, love the show. Just became a member the other day. Wondering if the predictions leaderboard is public, and if so, where do I find it? I will post it on the Patreon and on the YouTube community tab, and I put it in the chat. So hopefully he found that, and he is looking at that. Let's see here. Doc Hensel also with a super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So yeah, there you go. There's your Royal Rumble. So like I said, star ratings tomorrow at the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. Also on Tuesday, we'll be doing our Raw review.
Correct.
So that's where you're going to catch us next live right here. YouTube.com/Stephen Larson, wherever audio podcasts can be found. If you could do us a solid, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening to this in the audio realm, leave us a rating, review, or a comment. We've got merch over at friendoshop.com. You can still use the promo code Friendo2024. We should update that, Larson.
Yeah. It's 2025 now.
It certainly is, man. All right. Well, I'm going to hop in my car, turn on Scarecrow from John Cougar Mellencamp.
Blast it.
I'm going to blast it because that's the only way you can listen to Mellencamp. Isn't that right, Larson?
As loud as humanly possible.
I'm really, you know what I'm going to do, man? I'm going to get on one of the AI programs. I'm going to say, can you please create an image of Larson from Machinima's 10 for the win and going in Raw as a child buying that in a record store with his own money?
You know, honestly, the town I lived in when I was that age, I don't even think they had a record store, man. It was such a small town.
This lore that we're getting is phenomenal. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show tonight. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We have like an audience of like 1,800 right now. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much, everybody.
For checking us out. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.